So, good morning, everybody. Today's class is posterior mediastinum. See, the mediastinum is the space between the right and left pleural sacs and is limited on each side by the mediastinal pleura. It extends from the thoracic inlet to the diaphragm vertically and from sternum to the vertebra anteriorly. So, vertically from thoracic inlet to diaphragm and anterior posteriorly from sternum to the vertebra. It is divided by imaginary line horizontal plane. It is divided by an imaginary horizontal plane extending from the sternal angle to the lower border of the fourth thoracic vertebra to the superior and inferior mediastinum. Inferior mediastinum is divided into anterior, middle and posterior mediastina by the heart and pericardium occupying the mediastinum. Middle mediastinum by the heart and the inferior mediastinum is divided into anterior, middle and posterior mediastina by the heart and pericardium occupying the middle mediastinum. So here we are showing the picture. This is the whole of the mediastinum and it is divided into superior mediastinum and inferior mediastinum, and it is starting from the sternal angle to the lower border of the fourth vertebra, thoracic vertebra. Then that is the superior mediastinum above this imaginary horizontal plane. Then below that we are having the middle mediastinum occupied by the heart and pericardium, and in front of this we are having the anterior mediastinum, and behind we are having the posterior mediastinum. So posterior mediastinum is our subject today. Its boundaries are in front from above downwards, bifurcation of trachea, pulmonary vessels, fibrous pericardium and posterior sloping surface of the diaphragm. So bifurcation of trachea and other things will be there. Only here we are seeing the posterior sloping surface of the diaphragm. Bifurcation of trachea, pulmonary vessels, fibrous pericardium also seen there, and posterior sloping surface of the diaphragm. Behind the bodies of lower 8 thoracic vertebra, intervertebral disc and anterior longitudinal ligament. So these are the, from 5, 6, 7 up to 12, and there is the 8 vertebra and their intervertebral discs and the anterior ligament. Anterior longitudinal. Above the imaginary horizontal plane, dividing the superior and inferior mediastinum. So this posterior mediastinum is bordered above by the plane that is dividing the superior mediastinum and inferior mediastinum. This plane is horizontal plane is passing from the sternal angle to the lower border of the fourth thoracic vertebra. Then below it is the diaphragm. So this diaphragm is forming the lower as well as the part of the anterior margin of this posterior. Now contents. Longitudinal structures from ventral to dorsal. So esophagus is the ventralmost, then vagus nerve, longitudinal esophagus, thoracic duct behind the esophagus, azyagus and esophagus behind that, and descending thoracic artery, aorta, descending thoracic aorta, thoracic part of the sympathetic chain, planktonic nerve, posterior mediastinal lymph node. So here only we are showing the esophagus, thoracic duct, the azyagus. In this figure, the drawing showing all the parts. So here this is the esophagus and vagus nerve around the esophagus we are shown here, and then thoracic duct behind the esophagus, posterior to the esophagus, azyagus being posterior and to the right of the esophagus, this one, and then descending aorta posterior and to the left of the esophagus, and then right and left sympathetic chains, lymph nodes. So we are having esophagus, vagus nerve, thoracic duct, then azyagus veins, descending aorta, then the right and left sympathetic chain and lymph nodes. So these are all the contents of the posterior mediastinum. Then transverse structures. In the posterior mediastinum, some structures are extending from side to side. Termination of superior and inferior hemiazyagus. So this hemiazyagus means starting on the left side. on the left side and in the right azygos vein. So that is termination of azygos vein. Deviation of thoracic duct from right to left, and posterior intercostal arteries, some posterior intercostal veins. So here we are seeing the horizontal structures. Termination of the azygos vein. This is the accessory azygos vein and this is the hemiazygos vein. Both are terminating into the azygos vein. And then we are seeing the posterior intercostal veins and arteries accompanying it. And then thoracic duct. See, thoracic duct is starting from below. That is the cisterna, the upper end of the cisterna caeli. It is starting and going upwards on the right side, and then it turns to the left, and of course it ends in the left. Left superior vesica at the junction of the subclavian and jugular. Okay, structures. The first one is the esophagus. The anterior structure is the esophagus. It's a muscular tube, 25 centimeters long. Cervical part 4 centimeters, thoracic part 20 centimeters, and abdominal part 1.25, connecting the pharynx to the stomach. It begins in the neck at the level of the lower part of the cricoid cartilage and the 6th cervical vertebra. It descends largely anterior to the vertebral column into the superior mediastinum in the thorax. In the superior mediastinum, the esophagus lies behind the trachea and arch of aorta. In the posterior mediastinum, it lies at first in front and to the right of the descending aorta. It then crosses downwards and to the left in front of the descending aorta, opposite to T8 or T9, and pierces the diaphragm opposite to T10. Next, the esophagus presents 4 constrictions. The first one is at its commencement opposite to C6, produced by cricopharyngeal part of the inferior constrictor muscle of the pharynx. So the first one is at the commencement opposite to C6, the 6th cervical vertebra, produced by cricopharyngeal part of the inferior constrictor muscle of the pharynx. Then the second one is at the place where it is crossed by the arch of aorta at the level of the 4th thoracic vertebra. The third one is where it is crossed by the left bronchus at the level of the 6th thoracic vertebra. Then the last one is at the esophageal opening of the diaphragm at the level of the 10th thoracic vertebra. Arterial supply, esophagus is supplied by the branches of the inferior thyroid, descending aorta, bronchial, left gastric, left inferior phrenic arteries. So here we are showing the constrictions of the esophagus. The first one is at the 6th cervical vertebral level, the cricopharyngeal muscle is constricting the esophagus at its beginning. Then we are having at the level of the 4th thoracic vertebra, the esophagus is crossed by the descending aorta, or we can say arch of aorta, which is also giving a constriction. Then below that is the left bronchus that is giving the constriction at the level of the 6th thoracic vertebra. And finally, at the level of the 10th thoracic vertebra, where the esophagus is entering the diaphragm, entering the abdomen through the diaphragm, there is one more constriction. So here the constrictions of the esophagus, short notes question, and you have to just remember these 4 points. First one is at the beginning, because of the cricopharyngeal muscle, and then second one is at the crossing of the arch of aorta at the level of the 4th thoracic vertebra. Third one is at the crossing of the left main bronchus at the level of the 6th thoracic vertebra, and the last one is at the esophageal opening of the diaphragm at the level of the 10th thoracic vertebra. Now the course of the esophagus is coming actually posterior to the artery and the trachea in the superior mediastinum. As it comes into the inferior mediastinum, the trachea is ending by branching into left and right main bronchus. Then it is anterior and to the right of the descending aorta. Then at the level of the thoracic vertebrae, ninth thoracic vertebra is crossing anteriorly over the aorta and going towards the left side, and at 10th thoracic vertebra it is opening into, it is entering the abdomen through the diaphragm to the left of the aorta, descending aorta. Then the blood supply of the esophagus. The first one is the esophageal branch of the inferior thyroid artery. So here the inferior thyroid artery, that is giving the esophageal branch. Then the second one is the esophageal branch of the thoracic aorta. So thoracic aorta is directly giving branch. Third one is the bronchial artery and esophageal branch. So the bronchial artery, which is coming from the aorta, is also giving branches to the esophagus. Fourth one is the esophageal branch of the gastric artery. So gastric artery also giving the esophagus. The fifth one is the inferior phrenic artery. So the inferior phrenic arteries that are supplying the diaphragm are also giving branches to the esophagus. So esophagus is having about 5 varieties of the arterial supply. All are coming from the aorta only. The first one is the inferior thyroid artery, branch of aorta, giving branches to the esophagus. The second one is the esophageal branch of thoracic aorta, that is the direct branches from the descending aorta. And the third one is the bronchial artery and its branches to the esophagus. Then the gastric artery and its branches, inferior phrenic artery and its branches to the esophagus. Venous drainage is by inferior thyroid vein, azagus and hemiazagus means, and abdominal part into the left gastric vein portals. So venous drainage is by inferior thyroid vein, azagus and hemiazagus means, and abdominal part of the esophagus, which is just 1.5 centimeter. That part is by the drained by the left gastric vein of the portal system. Now nerve supply from the T5 to T9 segments, that is the sympathetic nerve supply from the 5th to 9th thoracic segments, and then parasympathetic is from vagus and regular blood. So after the esophagus, we go for the thoracic aorta. The thoracic or descending aorta is a continuation of the arch of aorta, beginning at the lower edge of the T4 vertebra. It descends through the posterior mediastinum to the left of the vertebra, become more medially located as it moves down. At the inferior border of the T12, the thoracic aorta becomes abdominal aorta, passing through the aortic hiatus, the diaphragm. So aortic hiatus is seen in the at the level of the T12. A number of branches arise from the thoracic aorta in the posterior mediastinum. These tend to arise in 3 vascular planes. Unpaired branches to the viscera extend anteriorly. Paired branches to the viscera extend laterally, and paired segmental parietal branches extend mostly posterior-laterally. So we are having 3 varieties of the branches from the aorta, thoracic aorta, of which unpaired branches are extending anteriorly, and paired visceral branches are extending laterally, and paired segmental parietal branches are extending posterior-laterally. Now major branches. Posterior intercostal arteries. These are paired parietal branches, 9 such pairs of branches from the posterior aspect of the aorta, supplying the intercostal spaces except the first 2, pass posteriorly and laterally in parallel with the ribs. So this posterior intercostal arteries are branches of the aorta which are passing posteriorly and laterally in parallel with the ribs. That is in the rib groove, in the inferior groove of the internal aspect of the rib, and then this will be supplying the intercostal spaces. The first 2 spaces are not having the posterior, so it's only 9 pairs. Bronchial arteries, paired visceral branches, usually 1 or 2. The left bronchial artery always arises directly from the thoracic aorta, while those on the right side usually branch indirectly from the right posterior intercostal artery. They go on to supply tracheobronchial tree. So bronchial arteries are paired visceral branches, usually one or two. Left bronchial artery directly arises from the thoracic aorta, while those on the right usually branch indirectly from the right posterior intercostal artery. They go on to supply tracheobronchial tree. Now esophageal arteries. These are unpaired visceral branches arising from the anterior aspect of the aorta. In most individuals, there are two, but there can be up to five. As the name says, the branches go on to supply the esophagus. So esophageal branches are unpaired visceral branches arising from the anterior aspect of the aorta. So in most individuals, there are two, or sometimes there may be up to five, and these are supplying the esophagus. Superior phrenic arteries arise from the anterior aspect of the thoracic aorta at the aortic hiatus, varying in number. They supply the superior aspect of the diaphragm. So here we are showing the branches of the aorta. So now I have shown the anterior branches directly supplying the esophagus, and these are the lateral branches supplying the bronchus, as well as some branches may come to the esophagus. And we are having the parietal posterior intercostal arteries. These are the posterior intercostal arteries. Vagus nerve. The thoracic course of the vagus nerve differs on two sides. The right vagus nerve passes downwards posterior medial to the right brachiocephalic vein and superior vena cava, and accompanies right surface of the trachea. Above the lung root, the vagus is separated from the right lung and pleura by arch of Ajaya's vein. So when we see the impressions on the right lung, we will be seeing the vein, arch of Ajaya's vein, Ajaya's vein, which is here separating the right vagus from the. Then thereafter the nerve passes behind the lung root, where it breaks up into the branches and joins with the sympathetic fibers from second to fourth thoracic ganglia to form the pulmonary plexus. So thereafter it goes down from the pulmonary plexus. Below the lung root, the fibers of right vagus surround the esophagus and form posterior part of the esophageal plexus. Finally, the fibers enter the abdomen through the esophageal opening of the diaphragm as posterior vagal trunk. So the right vagus in the beginning has become posterior vagal trunk by the time it ends its course in the thorax. Left vagus. At first, the nerve passes downwards between the left common carotid and left subclavian arteries under cover of the left brachiocephalic vein. Just above the aortic arch, it is crossed superficially by the phrenic nerve. As the nerve descends, it crosses anterior and left surface of the arch of the aorta. Then, here the nerve is crossed superficially by the left superior intercostal vein. It passes behind the lung root and breaks up into branches to form pulmonary plexus. Below the lung root, the fibers spread over the front of the esophagus and finally enter the abdomen through the esophageal opening as anterior vagal trunk. So the left vagus is at the beginning of the thorax has become the anterior vagal trunk. This is because of the rotation of the esophagus the other way. Thoracic part of the sympathetic trunk, consisting of 11 to 12 ganglia, which are part of sympathetic chain. The sympathetic system consisting of motor and sensory components. The motor system is active during emergency or fight or flight. So sympathetic is almost synthesis with the organism, that is either fight or flight. The sensory components conveys pain sensation from most of the viscera. Each of the thoracic ganglion is connected with the corresponding spinal nerves by both white and grey rami communicants. Here we are showing the 1 of 12 pairs of the ganglia by right. Then they are connected to the spinal nerves by grey and communicants. Now Here we are showing the fibers, how they are passing through this gray or white communication. This red continuous line represents preganglionic fibers passing through the white rami communication. So these are the red continuous line representing preganglionic fibers going through the gray rami communicants. See, the red continuous line represents the preganglionic fibers which are passing through the white rami communicants, and without synapsing here they are going to the ganglion in the abdomen, that is the celiac ganglion, supraepiphyseal. So these are the preganglionic fibers passing through the white rami communicant. Green lines represent the pain fibers from viscera to the dorsal. So these are the fibers coming from viscera to the dorsal root ganglion directly. These are the green fibers are passing through the spinal nerve itself. Then red interrupted lines represent the postganglionic fibers passing through the gray rami communicant to skin, viscera, and nerve. So here the red interrupted line are the postganglionic fiber. That means the synapses is in the sympathetic ganglion. From here, see, here this is the continuous line which is coming from the spinal cord to the ganglion. From there, after synapses, we are seeing the postganglionic fibers going through the gray rami communicants and reaching the viscera as well as the skin, the heart, lungs, everywhere. Postganglionic fibers. Okay. After synapse in the sympathetic ganglia. White rami communicants conveys preganglionic fibers from thoracic outlet to thoracic thoracolumbar outflow. Also carry sympathetic fibers from viscera to the cells of the dorsal root. Whereas the gray rami communicants convey postganglionic fibers to the skin, viscera, supplying the pseudomotor, pilomotor, and vasomotor fibers. Later splanchnic nerve is formed from the white rami communicants of the 5th to 9th thoracic ganglion. Lesser splanchnic nerve forms from 10th and 11th thoracic ganglion, and least splanchnic nerve is forming from the 12th thoracic ganglion. That is the postsynaptic, postganglionic fiber, postsynaptic fibers. So greater splanchnic. It is formed by the medial branch of the 5th to 9th thoracic ganglion of the sympathetic trunk and consisting of preganglionic medullary fibers and some sensory sympathetic fibers. The nerve descends by the side of the bodies of the thoracic vertebra, gives branches to the descending aorta, pierces the crest of the diaphragm, and joins with the celiac plexus. Some fibers reach the suprarenal medulla. Lesser splanchnic nerve, it arises from the 10th and 11th thoracic ganglion. So here we are showing these are the fibers that are coming from the spinal cord and then passing through the sympathetic ganglion without synapses and going to the ganglions in the abdomen, that is the celiac ganglion, superior mesenteric ganglion. This is the greater splanchnic nerve forming from the 5th to 9th thoracic ganglion. Then this is the lesser splanchnic nerve, 10th, 11th, and 12th thoracic. Thoracic duct. In adults, the thoracic duct is 38 to 45 centimeters and extends from the second lumbar vertebra to the base of the neck. It drains lymphatics from the whole of the body except the right side of the neck and except the right side of the head and neck, right upper limb, right lung and thoracic wall, and right half of the head and convex surface of the liver, which is drained by the right lymphatic duct and right bronchomediastinal trunk. So this thoracic duct drains lymphatics from whole of the body except right side of the head and neck, right upper limb, right lung and thoracic wall, that is the right part of the thoracic wall, and then right half of the heart and convex surface of the liver, which is drained by the right lymphatic duct and right bronchomediastinum. So this thoracic duct begins from the upper end of the cisterna chyli at the lower part of the temple and enters the thorax through the aortic opening. It passes upwards in the posterior mediastinum behind the esophagus. At the level of the fifth thoracic vertebra, the duct gradually inclines to the left, enters the superior mediastinum, and then ascends to the thoracic inlet through the left border of the esophagus. In this part of its course, the duct is related anterior to the aortic arch, left subclavian artery, in close contact with the left mediastinal pleura. Posteriorly, the bodies of the upper four thoracic vertebrae. That is the superior mediastinum. Right side of the esophagus and left side of the left lung and pleura. Right side of the esophagus and side left lung and pleura. Then it passes into the neck, wherein it arches into the left, finally turns downwards to terminate in the angle formed by the junction of internal jugular vein and left internal jugular vein and left subclavian vein. So here this thoracic duct is starting from the cisterna chyli at the level of the T12 and going up, and almost at the level of T5 it is turning gradually to left side, going to the through the thoracic inlet and then making a curve and then coming down, reaching the junction of the subclavian vein and the left jugular vein and left subclavian vein. So at this junction is opening venous system. Now posterior mediastinal lymph nodes. These lymph nodes lie posterior to the pericardium. Their afferents come from the esophagus and posterior part of the pericardium, and their afferents goes to the thoracic duct. Enlargement of the posterior mediastinal lymph nodes may indent the esophagus as seen radiologically in the Barian sphere. So the mediastinum is the space between the right and left pleural sacs and is limited on each side by the mediastinal pleura. It extends from thoracic inlet to diaphragm vertically and from sternum to the vertebra anterior-posteriorly. It is divided by an imaginary horizontal plane extending from the sternal angle to the lower part of the fourth thoracic vertebra into the superior and inferior mediastinum. Inferior mediastinum is divided into anterior, middle, and posterior by the pericardium. So here we are showing the superior mediastinum, inferior mediastinum divided into anterior, middle. This division of the superior and inferior mediastinum is by the horizontal plane starting from the sternal angle going up to the lower part of the fourth thoracic vertebra. Then the posterior mediastinum boundaries in front, above, from above downward, bifurcates septum, pulmonary vessels, pericardium, and posterior sloping septum. Behind bodies of the lower 8 thoracic vertebrae, intervertebral discs, and anterior segment. Above the imaginary horizontal plane that is dividing the superior from the inferior mediastinum, that is passing from the sternal angle to the lower border of the fourth thoracic vertebra. Then below it is the diaphragm. Structures: esophagus from ventral to dorsal. Esophagus, vagus nerve, thoracic duct, vagus and hemiangus, the receiving aorta, thoracic part of the sympathetic chain, connecting posterior mediastinal nerves. So here we are showing clearly the esophagus, vagus nerve, around the esophagus, then the thoracic duct posterior to the esophagus, azagus vein posterior and to the right of the esophagus, descending aorta, and posterior to the left of the esophagus, and right and left symphysis and lymph nodes. Transverse structure is termination of superior and inferior azagus veins into the azagus vein, deviation of the thoracic duct from right to left. That is, we have to remember that the thoracic duct is starting from upper end of cisterna chyli, that is at the lower part of the 12th thoracic pit and going upwards. So only we are seeing it as going turning to the right, that is the deviation is from right to left, and posterior intercostal arteries from posterior. So esophagus is a muscular tube, 25 centimeters, 4 centimeters part, 20 centimeters big part. Main thing here is this figure. We are having 4 constrictions in the esophagus, one at the constriction of the pecopharyngeus muscle at the beginning, and then at the place where it is caused by the arch of aorta, that is at the fourth thoracic vertebra, and then where it is caused by the left bronchus at the level of the sixth thoracic vertebra, then where it enters through the diaphragm at the level of the 10th thoracic vertebra. In its course, the esophagus is posterior to the arch of aorta in the beginning, and then it is coming to the right, and gradually it is crossing over the anterior aspect of the aorta and going to left by the time it ends its thoracic course. Now, the various arteries that are supplying the esophagus. The first one is the esophageal branch of the thyroid artery, then esophageal branches of the aorta directly, then the bronchial arteries giving branches to the esophagus, then the gastric arteries giving branches to the esophagus, and phrenic artery giving the esophagus. These are the 5 varieties of that are supplying the esophagus, blood supply to the esophagus. Then thoracic aorta, it is starting at the lower edge of the T4 vertebra, and at the T12 thoracic vertebra it becomes automatic passing through the aortic hiatus, and of course it is having 3 varieties of branches: the visible branches anteriorly, and paired visible branches laterally, then posterior laterally the parietal branch. So posterior intercostal branches are the paired parietal branches. Bronchial, the paired visible branches are to the bronchus, either 1 or 2 pairs, and esophageal arteries there are 2 to 5 in number, coming from the anterior aspect of the aorta, and superior phrenic artery are also arising from the anterior aspect of the thoracic artery. Now, vagus nerve. We are having right and left vagus nerve having different courses. Right vagus nerve passes downwards posteriorly to the right brachiocephalic vein and superior vena cava, accompanies the right surface of the trachea. Above the lung root, the vagus is separated from the right lung and pleura by arch of vagus vein. Thereafter, the nerve passes behind the lung root, where it breaks up into branches, joins the sympathetic fibers from second to fourth thoracic. Below the lung, the fibers of the right vagus surround the esophagus from the posterior part of the esophagus and forming places there. Finally, the fibers enter the abdomen through the esophageal opening of the abdomen as posterior vagal trunk. So the right vagus is going into the abdomen as posterior vagal trunk. Left vagus going to the abdomen as the anterior vagal trunk. This is because of the rotation of the gland. Then thoracic part of the sympathetic trunk consisting of 11 to 12 ganglia, which are part of sympathetic trunk. These are having motor component and sensory component. Motor component is fight and flight, sympathetic effect. Then sensory component conveys the pain sensation from most of the Each thoracic ganglia is connected to the corresponding spinal nerve by white and grey rami communicant. So here we are showing the 11 pairs of the ganglia and the grey and white rami communicant that are connected to spinal nerve. Then of course here we are showing the grey rami communicants. So grey rami communicants, the post-ganglionic fibers, wherein these fibers are synapsing in the thoracic ganglia, sympathetic ganglia. So we are having post-ganglionic fibers in grey rami communicants that are going to the viscera, that are going to the skin. And then in the white rami communicants, we are having the pre-ganglionic fibers, which are not synapsing in the sympathetic ganglion, but they are going to the ganglia in the abdomen, either celiac ganglia and supraumbilical ganglia. They are synapsing there. Sympathetic ganglion fibers in white rami communicants, post ganglionic fibers in the grey rami communicants. So greater splanchnic nerve is formed by the medial branch of the 59 thoracic ganglia, consisting of pre-ganglionic modulator fibers, some sensory sympathetic fibers. The nerve descends by the side of the bodies, thoracic vertebra, gives branches to the descending aorta, pierces the crus of the diaphragm. Likewise, here we are ganglion going up to the celiac ganglia, passing through the sympathetic celiac ganglia, like that. Then thoracic duct. Thoracic duct is about 38 to 45 centimeters, extends from the second lumbar vertebra to the base of the neck. Of course, it drains lymph from the whole of the body except the right side of the head and neck, right upper limb, right lung, right part of the thoracic wall, right half of the heart, and convex surface of the liver. That also. Then these parts are drained by the right lymphatic duct and right bronchomediation duct. This thoracic duct starts from the upper end of the cisterna chyli at the lower part of the tickle and enters thorax through the aortic opening. It passes upwards in the posterior mediastinum behind the esophagus. At the level of the fifth thoracic vertebra, the duct gradually inclines to the left. So from the right side, it goes to the left and enters the superior mediastinum, then ascends to the thoracic inlet along the left border of the esophagus. In this part, of course, the duct is related to anterior to the aortic arch, subclavian artery, in close contact with the left mediastinum pleura. Posteriorly, the bodies of upper four thoracic vertebrae. Right side of the esophagus and left side, left lung. So its right side is esophagus. The thoracic duct is related to the esophagus on right side and related to the left lung and pleura on left side. Then it passes into the neck where it arches to the left and finally turns downwards to terminate in the angle formed by the junction of the left internodular and left subclavian veins. So here we are showing this thoracic starting at the level of the skull at the upper end of the cisterna chyli and going on right side till it reaches the T5 level. From there it gradually goes to the left and it goes through the thoracic inlet, then makes a curve, then comes down to open at the junction of the right subclavian vein and right jugular vein. I mean left subclavian vein and left jugular. Posterior mediastinum lies posterior to the pericardium. Their afferents comes from esophagus and posterior part of the pericardium. That means these lymph nodes are draining the esophagus and posterior part of the pericardium, and then they are draining into the thoracic duct. Enlargement of posterior mediastinal lymph nodes may indent the esophagus as seen radiologically in the Bayesian. So if you see a radiograph of the Bayesian swallow of the esophagus, if you find there is indent, that means that is because of this enlargement of the posterior mediastinal lymph nodes. Azygas veins. The veins are paravertebral in position. These veins are provided with valves and drain most of the blood from the neck and from thoracic and abdominal walls. The terminal veins in the system are azygas and hemiazygas and accessor azygas. The hemiazygas and accessor azygas veins join the azygas vein horizontally, that we have shown in the figure, and then we'll talk in our next class about this azygas veins. So thank you. క్లోజ్ చేసేనా ఇదంతా క్లోజ్ చేసే కదా ఆపేది